Hi everyone, Mackie79 here and welcome to this new deck tech video of Magic Duels. Now before we begin this deck tech video, I just wanted to point out that I've been playing the Esper Control deck a lot, not only in the tournament, the Xbox One Fight Club, but also outside the tournament, because I wanted to get really good in using that deck. I wanted to get used to it and get it well into my fingers, so that's why I've been playing it, so that my chances are a bit better in the tournament. Now with that being said, playing that deck all the time gives me less time to make other videos and play other decks, so yeah. But I do want to keep the regular content up as well, so I updated my Conflux Superfriends deck, because frankly it didn't need much to update. I changed a few cards, but not that many. But that gives me the opportunity to go quickly through another deck. So let's check this deck out. Wow, loading takes some time here. Okay, we got in there. So the first card is the Oath of Nissa. Still play the 2 copies. When she enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can reveal a creature, land or planeswalker card from them and put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in order. Now it's the only Oath that I play twice, because it makes me dig into my library and get something that I need. And also the second ability is pretty important, because we get to spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast planeswalker spells. Now I play even more planeswalkers now. It's 5 colors, so the mana base is a mess. It's really difficult to get all your colors online. So anyway, this card helps to get all those planeswalkers out, so that's why I play the 2 copies. Then I play still 1 copy of the Chandra Oat. For 2 mana, when it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature an opponent controls. So yeah, basically it's a removal spell. And at the beginning of each end step, if you planeswalker enters the battlefield under your control this turn, you get to deal 2 damage to each opponent, which is a nice bonus. But basically you will be playing that for the removal. Then a new card, Blessed Alliance. Yeah, it's a great control card. 2 mana, it can gain you life, it can let your opponent sacrifice a creature. Second ability, we won't be using that a lot because we are not playing a bunch of creatures. We do play some token creatures, but that's about it. And the Escalate is very nice. Still the telling time, still like it. Lets me dig 3 deep for a land or a planeswalker or whatever at instant speed. Very nice. Then our first planeswalker, Nissa, Vastwood Seer. She comes into play as a creature. We all know her by now. And when she enters the battlefield, you can get to search a forest, and when you drop your 7th land, she transforms into Nissa Sage Animist, which is +1 card advantage, -2 board advantage, and -7 game winning advantage. Then the Oath of Gideon, also the 1 copy, also pretty strong Oath, 3 mana, 1 white. When he enters the battlefield, you get 2 tokens, 2 1/1s. And each planeswalker you control enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on it, so that's a pretty nice addition. Then the Oath of Jace, 3 mana, 1 blue. Yeah, when he enters the battlefield you get to draw 3 cards and then you discard 2. But that's pretty nice, because that way you can also go 3 deep into your deck and try to search for something that you need. Also the second ability is pretty nice, because you get to scry X, where X is the number of planeswalkers you control at the beginning of your upkeep. So yeah, pretty nice. Then 1 Oath of Liliana, also a pretty fun Oath. Maybe not the most powerful, but yeah, pretty useful anyway. It lets your opponent sacrifice a creature when it enters the battlefield, which is pretty good, because we play a lot of board wipes like Radiant Flames and Languish, but if you don't do enough damage with those, you can play this to sacrifice a bigger creature. like an Ulamog, for example. I'm just saying something, or a Brizella, or no, Brizella, no, you can't deal with Brizella with this because it's 3 mana. Brizella won't let you play that. But anyway, you can get a lot of creatures out of the way with this Oath. And then at the beginning of each end step, if a planeswalker entered the battlefield under your control this turn, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. So the deck is also going a little bit more to the token side, because by now I do have some planeswalkers that create tokens. So yeah, that's another win condition, so that's pretty nice. And this one helps with that. Then still 3 copies of the Natural Connection. Like I said, with this disaster of a mana base, you need to fix it somehow. I dropped 1 copy. I can't remember what I play instead, but yeah, I dropped 1 copy. Anyway, it's an instant speed, rampant growth actually. It lets you fix your mana. Then the Anguished Unmaking, very useful removal card. You can get rid of everything as long as it's not a land, and you lose 3 life, but at instant speed you probably won't mind. Then Call the Gatewatch. Yeah, I don't think there is a deck where this is more useful. You can search your library for a specific planeswalker, goes into your hand, and then you shuffle your library. Too bad it isn't instant speed, but hey, can't get everything. Then Radiant Flames, we want to keep the board clean, so this helps, especially early in the game. Then Liliana, the Last Hope, the newest edition of the Planeswalkers here. Yeah, her +1 lets you deal with aggro creatures, or makes them at least less dangerous. The -2 isn't that relevant here, and then the -7 is why we actually play her. That lets you win the game. Then Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, 3 mana, 2 green. Also pretty decent planeswalker. The +1 ability gives you a green plant token, which can help you protect her. And then the -2, yeah, every creature you control gets +1/+1 counter on it, which is also not that bad, because we, like I said, we do create some tokens here. And then the -7, yeah, you gain a bunch of life and draw a bunch of cards, which is pretty nice. Then another board wipe, the Languish. Yeah, you all know that one. -4/-4. Nice card. Then the Gideon, Ally of Zendikar, for 4 mana, 2 white. Yeah, you get a pretty big hitter. It becomes a 5/5 with a +1 ability. Or you can go token all the way and put some tokens out. And then you can get an emblem with the -4 that gives your creatures +1/+1. So still a great planeswalker. The +1, yeah, if you attack with him only, you gotta be careful with the Blessed Alliance, because that's a card that sees a lot of play. But other than that, still a great planeswalker. Then Tamiyo, Field Researcher. This one is in banned colors for 4 mana. You get a 4 counters on this planeswalker when she enters the battlefield, and she's pretty great. Her +1, you get to choose up to 2 target creatures, and until your next turn, whenever either of those creatures deals combat damage, you draw a card. So you can also do this on creatures of your opponent. If they deal damage in their turn, you get the cards as well. So if you can't remove them, you might as well abuse them. Then the -2 lets you tap out to target non-land permanents, which stalls the game, which is absolutely great, and they don't untap during the next untap step. And then the -7, yeah, it's just a game winner. You draw 3 cards, and every non-land card you cast, you won't be paying mana costs. So yeah, pretty strong. Then Nahiri, the Harbinger, also still pretty damn good planeswalker. +2, you may discard a card if you do draw a card, so you can filter out your hand. -2 lets you deal with annoying creatures, enchantments, or artifacts. And the -8, yeah, you get to search for an artifact or a creature card. I only play 1 creature, I think. Put it onto the battlefield and then shuffle your library. Gains haste until the end of turn, and then it comes back to your hand. Planar Outburst, best board wipe that there is in the game for now. Destroy all non-land creatures, and we can sometimes play it for the Awaken cost, which is nice. Then Jace, Unraveler of Secrets, 5 mana, 2 blue, +1 scry, draw a card, -2. Yeah, we get to control the board here, and -8. Not necessarily lets you win the game, but yeah, it's pretty annoying for your opponent, obviously. Then Ob Nixilis Reignited, yeah, it's kind of a bit the same as Jace. You +1 gives you card advantage, the -3 gives you board advantage, and the -8 is, in this case, definitely a game winner. Then that one creature that I play, that I set, is the Greenwarden here. Yeah, we can get some stuff back out of our graveyard when he comes into play, and that's why we play him actually, because yeah, sometimes we need to get something back. Then we get to the bigger planeswalkers here. Chandra, big Chandra, +1 lets you beat down your opponent with 3/1 tokens. The 0 ability in this deck, we won't be using that a lot, I guess. And then the -X is also pretty much a board wipe, so yeah, nice planeswalker. And then Soaring Grim Nemesis, also pretty nice. +1 card advantage and damage, the -X board control, and the -9 also an ultimate that I usually don't use because it's still weak against board wipes, but it can be nice. Then the mana base, which is probably the most difficult in this deck. 2 plains, 1 island, 2 swamps, 1 mountain, 2 forests, 2 Canopy Vista, 2 Prairie Stream, the Woodland Cemetery, 1 copy, Drowned Catacomb, 1 copy, Rootbound Crag, 1 copy, the Clifftop Retreat, 1 copy, the Hinterland Harbor, 2 copies, Isolated Chapel, 1 copy, and Sulfur Falls, 1 copy, 2 copies of the Glacial Fortress, and 2 copies of the Sunpetal Grove. Wow, that's a lot of different lands here. Anyway, that's what I've made of it. Let's check out the curve. Pretty weird. Not many 2-drops anymore. 7 2-drops, and I mean 1 drops only 2. 15 3-drops, and then it goes down to 5 4 3. So yeah, pretty weird curve. It curves out at 3-drop, I guess. Yeah, but I don't think that Super Friends are the strongest decks anymore in the meta, because you do see more aggro, and especially in 5 colors it's more difficult to deal with. But hey, it's Super Friends, it's fun. Playing Planeswalker is fun, at least it's for me. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck video, and I hope I see you guys at the gameplay video. See you there, bye bye.